I'm serving table 17 with hands that won't stop trembling, and I keep pretending it's the steam from the kitchen making me shake. It's a lie so thin it crumbles inside me, but I cling to it like it's a lifeline I can still clutch without breaking my own ribs. I spill a little broth on the edge of the bowl. I bite back a curse. My throat feels scraped raw from holding myself together. The air is thick with cilantro and citrus, bright and sharp, and every time the swinging kitchen door smacks open, I jump like someone's firing a gun behind me. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. I wasn't supposed to be anywhere public, not after what happened this morning. But here I am, apron knotted tight, smile stapled on, pretending like fear isn't curling tight under my ribs, begging to be heard. The restaurant buzzes around me in loud daylight, the big front windows pouring sunshine across the tables like it's blessing everyone except me. I've always loved that about this place. Light everywhere, no shadows to hide monsters. Turns out monsters don't need shadows. They walk right in through the door, just like he did. I don't know his name yet. I only know table 17 has never demanded my attention like this before. 4 men sit there, broad shoulders, gold chains that catch the sun, rings that gleam. Tattoos climb their arms like stories written on the skin of men who don't answer to laws I can see. But him? I felt him before I looked at him. He sits with the certainty of someone who never fears consequences. Legs apart, shoulders relaxed but coiled. He isn't the loud one. He isn't the smiling one. He isn't even looking at the menu. He's watching the room like he's already memorized every exit, every threat. And my mistake, my fatal, stupid, desperate mistake, is that I look directly at him for a full second too long. His eyes drift up to mine, and I know he's the kind of man people whisper about, the kind of man mothers pray their daughters never meet, the kind of man who could save you or destroy you, depending on how his morning began. I should look away. I want to look away. But there's something terrifyingly steady in the way he studies me, like he's not just seeing me. He's reading the panic buried under my skin. I try to step forward. My foot catches on nothing but nerves, and the bowl almost slips. "You good?" one of the men asks, smirking. Yeah, I'm fine." Lie. Lie with your whole chest. Lie so hard it feels like truth. I set the plates down. Careful, gentle, rehearsed. When I reach his plate, he catches my wrist. Not hard, not threatening. Just 2 fingers resting on my pulse, and his brows lift, the smallest shift, barely visible. It should annoy me that he feels something I can't hide. But instead, it scares me more, because recognition flickers across his face, like he knows fear, and this level of panic isn't normal for a girl delivering lunch. "You're shaking," he murmurs. My throat locks. I pull back too fast. Kitchen's hot. He doesn't push. He doesn't call me out. He only watches me, as if silence is his own private interrogation room. I turn away, willing myself to breathe, willing my body not to crumble into pieces right here, in front of strangers who would smell weakness like blood. I try to focus on the tables needing refills, receipts, smiles. But somewhere between the register and the counter, my phone buzzes in my apron. Same message again. "You think you can hide from me? You think I won't find you?" My lungs stop. My ribs squeeze around nothing. I should have changed my number. I should have smashed my phone. I should have run to the next state. But survival gets messy when you've spent years learning how to freeze instead of fight. I shove the phone deeper into my apron, burying the screen as if that will bury the threat following me like a shadow. The kitchen door slams again, and I jump so hard my coworker pauses mid-sentence. "You okay?" she asks, brows pinched. "I'm fine," I whisper. It's starting to sound like begging. I move on autopilot, clearing plates, wiping tables, pretending my world isn't cracking in my hands. But I feel him watching me. Not staring, just aware of me the way a storm is aware of the coastline it's about to hit. His presence isn't loud. It's gravitational. It pulls, and I hate that I don't hate it. The men at table 17 finish eating, laughing, talking about something I don't understand. Territory, shipments, someone named Rocco who apparently messed up big time. I catch fragments of their conversation, enough to confirm what I already suspected. They run this neighborhood. Or maybe they run more than that. I avoid looking at him, but the air keeps pressing around me, urging me to. So when I return with the check, I keep my eyes down. But he doesn't sign it. He slides it back toward me, untouched. And then I feel it. That quiet current shifting between us. Who terrified you? He asks. The question lands like a punch I didn't see coming. His voice is low, even, too calm for the earthquake inside me. He says it like he already knows the answer and wants to hear my version. I'm not. You are. I suck in a breath. I'm not scared, I lie again. He leans back, eyes still fixed on me, like he's watching someone try to outrun their own reflection. Your hands are shaking. Your heartbeat jumped when your phone buzzed. You look at the door every time someone walks by. That isn't nerves. He taps the table once with his finger. That's fear. The words rip something open in me. Something I've been holding shut for so long it feels welded to my bones. You don't know me, I whisper. No, he agrees. Quiet, but absolute. But I know fear when it walks past my table. A hot wave rises in my chest, threatening to spill. Tears, truth, everything I swore I'd keep buried. Survival teaches you how to swallow pain whole. But right now, in the brightness of this restaurant, under the gaze of a man built like a controlled explosion, I feel seen in a way I'm not ready for. He stands. The movement is slow, deliberate. The other men go silent like they're used to falling quiet when he moves. He steps closer, stopping just in front of me. Not crowding me, not touching me. Just close enough that I feel the charge of him, like heat from something dangerous but steady. I'm not the one you should be afraid of, he says. The floor shifts under me. I'm not afraid of you, I whisper. That's your first good instinct today. His mouth twitches. Not a smile. Something smaller. Warmer. Tell me who it is. My pulse stutters. My throat cinches shut. I can't. You can. His voice softens in a way that terrifies me more than if he'd raised it. Whatever you're running from, whoever thinks they still own your fear, give me a name. I shake my head and step back. It's not your problem. It became my problem the second you walked over with your hands shaking. His jaw flexes. People like me don't ignore things like that. People like him, danger, carved into bone, protection, sharpened into instinct. I should run. I should tell him nothing. I should keep this secret locked up until it suffocates me. Instead, I breathe out a truth I didn't mean to reveal. I'm being threatened. The words crack out of me like a confession I didn't consent to. His expression doesn't change, but the air around him does. It tightens. By who? He asks, voice almost gentle, like he's coaxing the fear out of me instead of demanding it. I look away. My eyes burn. The sunlight feels too bright, too revealing. My ex, I whisper. He won't leave me alone. His breath stills. Everything about him sharpens. Not anger, not shock, but focus. Like he's already mapping the problem, planning the solution, calculating a world where this man never touches my life again. But I don't get to feel safe yet. Not even with him watching me like he's ready to tear apart the threat with his bare hands. Because my phone buzzes again. And this message is worse. I'm outside. Come out. Or I come in. My heart shatters against my ribs. The room tilts. My breath disappears. And when I lift my eyes, he's already watching me with a look that says he knows exactly what that message means. He steps even closer, voice threading into my bones. Look at me. I do. Tell me what he just sent you. I swallow hard, throat tight, words trapped. I open my mouth. The panic spikes so hard my knees weaken. His hand lifts, not to touch me, but to steady the air between us, as if anchoring me without laying a finger on my skin. Tell me, he repeats, quieter. I breathe in, then out, and I finally force the words past my lips. He said he's outside. His eyes change. The calm vanishes. The storm arrives. And I know, absolutely know, that whatever happens next, I've already crossed a line I can't walk back from. That's when the front door of the restaurant swings open. I hear a familiar voice, and everything in me breaks. The moment I hear his voice at the door, my spine turns to glass. Not delicate glass, the kind that shatters in splinters sharp enough to slice the inside of your lungs. I don't have to turn around to know it's him. My ex always carried his presence like a punch you try to dodge too late. My breath snags. My pulse spikes so fast it feels like I'm swallowing electricity. Behind me, the Mafia boss, the man from table 17 whose name I still don't know, goes still in a way that makes silence feel dangerous. The room doesn't quiet, not really, but it feels like the noise is happening in a different universe. His men look up at the door. Then they look at him. Waiting. The sunlight pouring through the windows suddenly feels too bright on my skin, like it's exposing every fear, every bruise you can't see. Every time I didn't run soon enough, I'm frozen. My ex steps farther inside, scanning the space like he's the one in charge. He used to do that with me. Walk into a room and suck the oxygen out until I forgot I could breathe on my own. But today I'm not alone. The Mafia boss moves first. He doesn't lunge. He doesn't rush. He steps between me and the door with a calm so lethal it sends a tremor through the floor. He plants himself in front of me like a wall no one gets through without permission. "Stay behind me," he murmurs. My throat locks. "I can't." "You can," he says, quiet but immovable. "And you will." I don't know why I listen. I don't know how obedience slides out of me so easily when fear has been running my life for so long. But I step back until the counter bumps my hip. My ex sees the movement. His gaze snaps to me, then to the man blocking his view. His expression curdles. He hates being ignored more than anything. "So this is why you didn't answer," he barks. "You're hiding behind some..." He doesn't finish. Because the Mafia boss steps forward one more inch. Not threatening. Just claiming space that doesn't belong to my ex anymore. "You got business with her?" he asks. It's not a question. My ex squares his shoulders. "Who the hell are you?" The boss doesn't blink. "Someone you don't want to meet on your worst day." A tremor rolls through me. Not fear this time. Something else. Something like safety trying to grow roots where panic has lived for too long. My ex scoffs, puffing himself up. "She's my girl." I flinch. The words hit a place inside me I thought I'd barricaded months ago. My stomach twists, old wounds ripping open. The Mafia boss notices. He always notices. "She doesn't look like yours," he says softly, almost conversational. "She looks terrified of you." My ex laughs. "She's scared of everything." That one lands so hard I almost double over, because it's a lie that used to be true. A lie I swallowed until I believed it, but the boss doesn't buy it. "No," he says. "She's scared of you." My ex scoffs again, louder, meaner, stepping forward. "Back off before I..." He doesn't get the rest out. The boss steps into his path, close enough that sunlight sparks off his chain, his rings, his tattoos, gold and ink turning into armor. "You're done speaking," he says. There's no shout, no bark, just finality threaded through velvet. My ex stutters, caught off guard. The boss tilts his head. "You sent her a message saying you're coming inside. That's a threat." "It wasn't..." "And you took a step toward her just now. Another threat." "I didn't..." "Keep going. See where it leads." My ex finally looks around and notices the other men at table 17, watching him with the kind of quiet expectation that feels like a loaded gun set on the table. His bravado flickers. "I just want to talk to her," he mutters. "No," the boss says. "You don't talk to her. Not here. Not anywhere." My lungs seize. My knees weaken. I grab the counter to stay upright. My ex glares at me, trying to hook me with the same stare that kept me silent for years. "You think this guy's going to protect you? You think he cares?" The boss glances back at me for a fraction of a second, long enough for me to read something startling in his expression. He does care. Maybe he shouldn't. Maybe he didn't plan to, but he does. Then he turns back to my ex. "Leave," he says. My ex opens his mouth, but one of the other men stands, cracking his knuckles like punctuation. My ex backs up a step, then another. Then he finally retreats out the door. The second the glass swings shut, my legs buckle. The boss catches my arm before I hit the floor. His hand is warm, steady, anchoring. He isn't rough, he isn't urgent. He's just there, solid in a way I didn't know I needed until this exact breath. "Sit," he murmurs. "I can't." My voice breaks. "I'm fine. You're not fine." His fingers tighten just enough to keep me upright. "You're shaking again." I press a hand to my mouth. Air won't go in right. Everything I've held back for months swells to the surface, and I hate it. I hate breaking down in front of him. I hate that he sees the parts of me I tried to bury. But I can't stop it. His presence is too calm, too steady. It makes everything inside me unravel. He lowers me into a booth before I collapse. He leans over, close enough that I feel the warmth of him like sunlight. "Look at me," he says. I do. My vision blurs, but I meet his eyes. "You did nothing wrong." My breath hitches. He's going to come back. Not today. You don't know him. His jaw clenches. And he doesn't know me. Something shifts inside me at those words. Something dangerous and hopeful and confusing all at once. His men hover near the counter, guarding without needing instructions. This place feels like a fortress now, and I feel guilty for it, for dragging danger into their world, even if it's nowhere as big as the worlds they navigate. I'm sorry, I whisper. Stop apologizing. His voice softens. You're allowed to feel safe. A tear breaks free. I swipe it away. I can't stay here. No, he says. You can't. That terrifies me more. What do you mean? You need to go somewhere he can't reach you, and you're not walking out there alone. I don't even know your name. His lips quirk. Enzo. The name lands with weight, purpose, something I shouldn't cling to but do. And you? He asks. Calla. He nods, letting it settle between us. Calla, he repeats, tasting the shape of my name like it matters. Something inside me shivers. Before I can speak again, the door opens a crack. My ex's shadow flickers across the window glass. I choke on a gasp. Enzo notices instantly. He signals to one of his men with nothing but a glance. The man heads outside. I grip the edge of the booth. Enzo. You're coming with me, he says. What? I'm not leaving you here with him circling the building. His tone leaves no room for argument. Get your things. My heart pounds. I can't just leave work. You're not leaving, he says. You're being protected. I barely know you. You don't need to know me. He leans closer, voice dropping into something soft that sinks into my bones. You just need to trust that I'm not the one hurting you. Everything inside me twists, tight and painful. I don't trust anyone, I whisper. His eyes soften. Not pity, not judgment. Understanding. Then trust your fear, he says. It's pointing you away from him and toward me. I feel my breath break in my chest. I stand on shaking legs. He stays close, guiding but not touching, creating a shield around me as I grab my bag, my apron, my phone. Every step feels like peeling myself out of a life that was killing me slowly. When we step outside, the sun is blinding, too vivid, too honest. His SUV waits at the curb, door already open. I freeze. If I get in that car, it means I'm choosing you. No, Enzo says. It means you're choosing yourself. But when I do step toward the SUV, he watches me with something unguarded in his eyes. Something dangerous, something tender, something that feels like fate nudging me into his gravity. I slide into the passenger seat. He gets in beside me. The door shuts with a soft click that feels like the world sealing behind us. The engine rumbles to life. Where are we going? I ask, voice small, breathless. He looks at me, slow, intentional, piercing enough to shake something awake inside me. Somewhere safe, he says. Where? He turns the wheel, eyes still on the road but voice low and certain. To my home. My heart slams against my ribs. I whisper the only thing I can manage. Why? His answer is quiet enough to ruin me. Because someone threatened what's mine. My breath catches. I'm not yours, I whisper. His jaw flexes. Not yet, he says. The SUV pulls into traffic, and everything I thought I could run from rushes toward me all at once. 3 weeks later, I'm standing on Enzo's balcony with the sunlight warming the scars I'm still learning to admit exist. The city below gleams in sharp color, all noise and motion, and somehow I'm no longer flinching at every sound. My hands don't shake when I breathe in the morning air. My phone doesn't vibrate with threats. My stomach doesn't twist itself into knots every time I step outside. Survival is a strange thing. You think it'll feel like victory, but it feels more like remembering how to be a person again. I'm not fixed. I'm not healed. But I'm standing, and that's something. The last 3 weeks were chaos and comfort braided so tight they're almost indistinguishable. Enzo brought me to his home, but he didn't cage me there. He gave me a room with sunlight dripping across the sheets. Gave me quiet. Gave me space to breathe. He walked in and out without demanding anything from me except truth when I could give it. Silence when I needed it. And presence whenever fear woke up like an old habit. And every time the tremor tried returning to my hands, he'd simply murmur, "Breathe, Calla. I'm right here." He never said it like a promise he might break. It felt more like a fact of the universe he refused to negotiate. My ex was arrested the same night Enzo brought me here. I didn't know it until the next morning, when Enzo slid a cup of coffee toward me and said, "He won't touch you again." His tone wasn't proud, just final. Like he'd delivered justice without expecting thanks. I I didn't ask how Enzo arranged it. Some doors in him I'm not ready to open. Some truths I'm not steady enough to hold. But the result is the same. My ex is gone, and the silence that replaced him is still startling. Enzo's men keep the perimeter. Not in a prison way. In a, you're safe, breathe easy way. They nod when they pass me in the hall. They treat me with a respect I don't know how to wear yet. But Enzo? He's a different story entirely. He's not simple, not soft. He moves through his world like someone born to command it, built for pressure most people would fold under. He talks in measured truths, and each one shakes something loose in me. Some nights he's gone for hours, handling things he won't name. Some nights his voice is edged with steel when he returns. But he never brings that sharpness into my space. When he crosses the threshold into the living room where I usually curl up with a book I'm not reading, his voice gentles like someone dimming a too bright light. And I hate how that makes me feel seen. I hate how I'm starting to crave the moments when he stops in the doorway, watching me like he's checking that my world is still intact. I hate it almost as much as I need it. Today, though, he's been gone all morning. The hours feel heavier without him in the background, without the low hum of his presence settling the edges of my nerves. When the door finally clicks open downstairs, my breath catches. Footsteps. Familiar. Certain. My body reacts before my mind does, like gravity recognizing itself. I step back inside from the balcony just as he appears at the top of the stairs. He looks tired. And expensive. And dangerous in the quiet way that's starting to feel like safety to me instead of threat. His sleeves are rolled, his chain glints in the daylight, and there's a new tension around his mouth. He tries to hide when he sees me. "You okay?" he asks. Funny. He's the one who looks like he carried the weight of the city on his shoulders today. "I should be asking you that," I say. He huffs something that isn't quite a laugh. "I've had better mornings." He walks past me, heading toward the kitchen. But his fingers brush my wrist in passing. It's light, barely there. But the contact sparks something warm that rolls through me too fast. I follow him without thinking. He pours a glass of water, leans against the counter, closes his eyes for one beat. When he looks at me again, he's different, bracing himself. "I didn't want you to hear from someone else," he says. "So I'm telling you now." A chill runs down my spine. Telling me what? He sets the glass aside, hands braced on the counter. Sunlight pours over him, outlining the tattoos on his forearms, tracing the sharp planes of his shoulders. "Your ex made bail." The floor tilts under me. Air leaves my lungs in a sudden rush. I grip the edge of the counter to stay upright. My voice trembles. "Enzo, he's not coming near you," Enzo says, stepping forward. "I made sure of that." "How?" His jaw flexes. He hesitates. And I already know. Not through law, through fear. The kind of fear only men like Enzo know how to deliver. "You didn't have to do that," I whisper. "I did." His eyes lock on mine. "Calla, I would burn the world before I let him hurt you again." It hits me like a confession, like something heavier than protection, something that feels like truth bleeding through walls he doesn't want to tear down. My throat tightens. "You barely know me. Don't do that." His voice drops low. "Don't pretend this is nothing." My pulse jumps. "This," he repeats, stepping closer. "Whatever this is between us. Don't lie to me about it." My breath stutters. Heat coils low in my stomach. I step back instinctively, not because I fear him, but because I feel too much, too fast. "Enzo, I'm barely holding myself together most days." "I know." His voice softens in a way that unravels something deep in my chest. "I don't want you held together. I want you real." His hand lifts, stopping just short of touching my cheek. "I want you alive, breathing, healing, not pretending you're made of steel." I blink hard. Tears sting my eyes. I swallow them down. He watches me, and there's no expectation in his stare. No demand, just truth. And God, that's scarier than anything. "I don't know how to let someone care," I whisper. "I'm not asking you to." His lips twitch, almost a smile. "I'm asking you to let yourself care. There's a difference." I look away, heart thundering like it's trying to escape. He steps closer, slow, deliberate. "Calla." His voice is a breath against my ear. "Look at me." I do, and his next words land so softly they break me open. "You're safe." Something inside me cracks. A sob escapes before I can stop it. I press a hand to my mouth, trying to hide the sound, but Enzo's already moving. His arms come around me, not crushing, not claiming, just holding. Warm, solid, present. I sink into him without meaning to. For the first time in months, I stop shaking. We stay like that until my breathing evens. When I finally pull back, he lets me go slowly, like releasing something fragile he refuses to drop. "You don't have to stay here," he says, "but you can." I wipe a tear off my cheek. "You want me to?" He meets my eyes. "I want you safe, whatever that means for you." My chest aches, not with fear, not with memory, with possibility. I realize something then, something terrifyingly simple. He isn't my escape. He's my after. The part of life I didn't think I'd get to keep. I take a long breath, steady for the first time in days. "Enzo," I whisper, "can we take this slow?" He nods, no hesitation. "Any pace you want." "I don't know what I'm supposed to be to you." His expression softens in a way I've never seen. "You're not supposed to be anything. You just are." Warmth floods my chest. I step closer, just a little. "And what are you to me?" I ask quietly. He doesn't answer with words. He lifts my hand, presses a kiss to the inside of my wrist, right where he first noticed my shaking. A promise where my pulse is. Then he whispers, "Someone you don't have to be afraid of." My breath catches. For the first time, it doesn't hurt. I nod, slow and certain. "Okay." It's not a vow, not a lifetime promise, not a declaration wrapped in fireworks. It's something quieter, a beginning, a rebirth, a choice. He smiles, small, rare, real. "Yeah? Yeah," I whisper. He threads his fingers through mine. No pressure, just warmth. Outside, sunlight spills through the glass, bright enough to make everything glow. Inside, for the first time, I feel like I survived. And I realize something I'm only brave enough to admit in a whisper. This isn't the story of how he saved me. It's the story of how I started saving myself. And he simply refused to let me do it alone. Hey, love, if this story pulled you in and tugged at the places you don't usually let anyone touch, go ahead and hit, like, drop me a comment, and subscribe. Your reactions aren't just numbers. They're the heartbeat that keeps these confessional, sun-drenched mafia romances alive. So tell me what you felt. What broke you? What healed you? I'm listening.